Alright folks, what I'm going to do today is go for a ride with you all, and you're going to be riding with John. That's what we call this thing here, and what I'm going to do is just walk you through everything I'm doing. So you'll see me doing it, you'll hear me doing it, and I'm going to talk you through what I'm thinking as I'm riding and the decisions I'm making. Dear Lord, help me to stay upright. Be with me on the road and the other people on it, that we can just have a good time today. Pray, Lord, you'll just keep you safe and help us to have a nice time, and we'll praise you for it, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Wonder if I can... Well, yeah, I don't want to go this way. I'll just go straight. Going straight on a bike happens to be a lot easier than going backwards on a bike. Who'd have thunk it? I wonder if they ever try putting a reverse gear on a bike, and then it would be funny to see the kind of crazy shenanigans people get themselves into doing it. But you know, people ride BMX bikes and go do like crazy street stuff. Alright, I'm approaching a stop here. We're going to come to a full stop. There's traffic coming in as a right of way. And we're good to go. So if you're somewhat new to riding, I mean, when I was interested in riding, when I was looking around for bikes and trying to consider what bikes to get, I just found it so valuable to watch other people ride. So I hope this is helpful to somebody out there, or my loved ones, just to see, you know, how I ride if they're interested, or to document the terrible, terrible car accident I'm about to be in. Just kidding. That's called reverse jinxing. We're really into that in my fantasy football league. I think if you just talk about something like something tragic is going to happen, you might avoid it. Come around the school bus here. I actually have some time to kill too, so I'm actually trying to figure out what my route is going to be. But, so if you're watching this, this is a 2015 Honda CBR300. It's a sport bike. I am riding in 50-degree weather. It's been pretty cold. They've already salted roads this year at some points, but it's probably all washed away by rain by now, and we're in December, and I'm in like the mid-Atlantic area, so it doesn't matter too much. It's just a nice day. Nice day to be riding. I don't winterize my bike, which is, I'm glad I don't, because, you know, you have these nice days pop up here and there, and you can just hop on the bike and ride. So, I could turn on my blinker here. It's probably the good thing to do. I'm going to just always be looking at every car around me and where I'm going. I'm turning my knee out a little bit. I'm trying to find this apex of this corner. And throttle out. I know the audio quality goes down around maybe 50 or 60 miles per hour, but hopefully it's still alright. I'm trying to do voice recorder too. There's a little pothole there. You probably saw I did a quick little swerve. And I'm seeing brake lights ahead, so I'm going to slow down anyway. But I think it's really important that you understand counter steering and how to maneuver your bike. So when there's no one behind you and around you like this, take the time just to try changing lane positions. You're going to find it really easy to do at low speeds, and the faster you're going, the harder it's going to be. Anytime that car had a signal on, it looked like they wanted to come over another lane. This dart truck does want to come over. I got a yellow light. Just got to be careful. What I was about to say there is when you are passing slower traffic, it is increasingly dangerous the faster you are going compared to them. I was intentionally going slow there because if one of those cars starts out, or if that truck decides to go, what's most important is not that I make a light. What's most important is that if I'm put in a situation where I have to make a quick change, that I'm able to do it, and when those cars are stuck in a slow lane or a line of traffic, and there's what they perceive to be an open lane to the left, they're going to want to take that. And I have to remember that I'm invisible to a lot of people. So I drive like I'm invisible, ride like I'm invisible, and then it saves me from a lot of harm, I think. And then make yourself as visible as possible. That's important as well. Alright, this is a curve, and this is very smooth cement, so I'm being very cautious to keep my body weight to the right, keep my body weight leaning in so that the bike doesn't lose traction. I'm going to continue to do the same over here. I just don't like this material. I don't trust it as much as I do asphalt. So it's great if you have four wheels, but these roads a lot of times are not designed with us two-wheelers in mind. Alright, I see brake lights up ahead. In that situation right there, I did not know how many cars were in this lane. And that's because a truck was blocking it from oncoming traffic. Like, if I was approaching a turn, in a way, and there was an obstructing my view, in those situations, it's really important to go wide. Go to the right so you can see around that obstruction and have the best chance at seeing it. If you go around a turn like that where there's an obstruction and there's something in the road, you are going to see it earliest and you're going to be most prepared for it. You know, I'm going to hang this right here. You're going to see it earliest, be most prepared for it if you take the turn wide. Here's another example. Coming in here, if there's something in the road right there, I want to come in wide and be able to see it. If you're a beginner, there's a lot of people that talk about how to make turns on these bikes. Crossing the solid white line because I'm a rebel. There's a lot that goes into cornering, as it should be, because it's really important. But I think it's important to recognize what material is for experts that are great at riding their bike and they just want to get better, or veterans, people who've been riding for thousands of miles already. And then, but the most important learning is the learning that you're going to do for your first couple hundred miles. I think a lot of the things about hitting an apex perfectly, some of the things can get you trying to focus on being like a MotoGP racer instead of how to keep the bike upright and how to be safe. I think that's like really the first things first is to think about safety in turns. You got to do that before you talk about maintaining speed through a turn. And here we're gonna go here. I have the right of way, taking that left and going straight, and she has to yield. So that was the right thing there. Speed limit is 35. Slow it up a little bit. So what I was saying, the main thing I was getting at there, I'm not trying to say that anyone's advice about turns is wrong or anything, but what I would say is don't get caught up thinking about hitting an apex. It is the best way to do a turn, but it is not the most important thing. If you do a weird inside, outside, inside thing, that's pretty bad, because what you're going to be doing is having to flip the bike at the most important part of the turn, and just adding increased risk to yourself. But what I would say is, if you're a total beginner, pick one lane position, like I'm in lane position 2 right now in the middle, and just stick with it throughout the whole turn. It's not the end of the world if you do that. You will end up needing more lean angle, and you will end up making the turn sharper than if you go outside, inside, outside. But I don't know, there's so many things you have to be thinking about, road conditions and all these things, and it removes needing to think about hitting the apex perfectly, because if you're thinking about that as a new rider, you're not really thinking about safety first. What you should be doing is preparing yourself for losing traction. You should expect to see something where it's like water, gravel, dirt. You should be expecting to find something where you're going to lose traction and be ready to adapt to it using your controls. That is like the most important thing you should be thinking about. Don't think about hitting the turn perfectly, hitting the exact fastest slow entry speed that you can going into the turn, hitting the corner perfectly, and accelerating out as fast as you can. That is what you do if you are racing. It is not what you should be doing if you're learning how to ride. Isn't this beautiful? A meadow here, a little park. It's a dead of winter, but it's a 50-degree day. I think everything looks a little bit nicer when you're on a bike too. Sun's shining. One of the big benefits of riding a bike for me is you really have to use your eyes fully. It's not even your ears as much, it's your eyes. I'm going to put both hands on the handlebars so this plane position because there's a car coming. So what you should be doing with your eyes is scanning far and near, left to right, side to side, checking the mirrors behind you, and knowing everything that's around you for your safety and for the safety of other people on the road, and so you can ride well. That's important, but a huge side benefit. I'll pop over here. Entry speed, throttle. Did I hit that apex perfectly? No, I didn't. Was I looking at that car that could have turned left? Was I looking for things in the road? Was I not getting too close to that side of the road just in case something happened? That's what I was doing. I have no regrets about the way I took that turn. I would advise anybody to take a turn like that all the time, all day. I feel good about it. Because here's the thing about hitting the apex. If you go to hit the apex and you lose traction, your front wheel locks up maybe, or your back tire slides, you're going straight into either oncoming traffic or off the road or into a shoulder. Your tires are able to fix, you're able to fix a lot of issues and problems. You're able to fix a lot of issues and problems if you have road. See some ice up here. If you do not have road left and you're hitting that curb, those leaves, you are not going to be able to steer or fix or correct with your controls what's going on. It's a nice road here. We're going down into a valley. There's a pretty big bend back there that I didn't super prepare for. Oh, I know this road. I think this is yes, I know this road. This is where I want to go. Hopefully there's not too much ice. So anyway, yeah, it's not MotoGP out here. If I stay in this center lane position the whole time, I'm fine. Or if I go to this lane position and I'm just going to follow the bend this way, it's really all right. I would say that, if the way you ride with the people you ride with is if you want to go fast, we're going from point A to point B and we're going to quasi-race and see if we can all get there in the same amount of time. Hope that lady is all right. Then that's the way to do it, but you're obviously increasing your risk as you ride that way. See, like right here, I have a guardrail right there, and I'm not trying to hit that turn at the fastest speed possible, so I really don't need to get super close to that side of the road. That's not really what I'm going for. Hope that's making sense. This is going to end up being a rant that I don't know if people are going to enjoy or not. Or actually, I'm just going to plan on hopefully nobody ever seeing this. One issue I have with these stoplights is I feel like I'm still trying to figure out the right place to sit to make the triggers go off so that it actually senses my weight. I don't know if anybody has any tips on that. If you can maybe hit me up with a comment and let me know. But that car across from us is going straight, so that should help our cause. I always like to try to look at the corners of the other ways lights or the crosswalk indicators so I can get a sense of when it's going to be yellow and red and when we get green, but I can't quite do it here and it's bugging me a little bit. That's all right. Speed limit here is 30. It has been windy, so there's leaves. I can tell the road is wet by looking at it. So let's not be crazy here. Not that I'm gonna go crazy, but I'm not that kind of rider. I do have traffic behind me, so I'm going to be mindful of them to maybe take it a little faster in the straight. So I'm going to go wide so I can see tall, looks good, and roll through. Going to do the same thing here. Not too wide. See these bumps, see this dirt on the side of the road, and now I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow down there because I can't see. I want to know what's coming. I am going 40 here, so I'm not holding anybody up. This riding is just so enjoyable. So I find that towards the end of my rides, if I'm talking to myself or I'm singing to myself, it won't be in the beginning. I think it's almost like a runner's high, but I don't know, I start to get a little giddy, start to get a little happy, and that's all right. Anyway, so I hope you're happy as well. Hope you are grinning from ear to ear, and thanks for checking out this video. Let me know what you thought about it. If you have any questions, maybe I can answer it in another video. Otherwise, thanks for just starting out this journey with me and riding with John. I am John, and we'll see you next time. Hey, did I tell you you're riding with John? Hey, I told you you're riding with John. Riding with John. Riding with John. Riding with John. Why should I have to pay singers if I could just do it myself for free?